Happy Friday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell. Jeffery at JefferyTV.com. Jeffery at pfunk1.com. pfunk1 at AOL.com. Yes, happy Friday live on Memorex. Default route, default location, about an hour earlier than usual because today is a P-Funk travel day. And the way I have it scripted, there may or may not be any time for me to get my steps in. So I figure if I can get out here now, get about an hour in, which should be about 6,000 steps, that will go a long way in me continuing my 10,000 step a day streak. Anyhow, I might need to go out more often. There's no doubt about that. In fact, ain't no might about it. I need to go out more often. Jeffery needs to be out in public and be Jeffery. Last night, I attended the SlapBak album release party, CD release party. The album entitled Funk Lives Matters. Funk Lives Matter. It was so good, I bought a damn t-shirt. It was so good, I bought a damn t-shirt. It may be that I don't get out enough. Because even the opening band, Official Biz, B-I-Z, was extraordinarily interesting to me. Everything was, I don't want to go too far in saying this, and that it was just a good time. I just need to get out more. Jeffery needs to be out to do that thing that Jeffery does when he goes out. Somehow, I get there early, not sure why, walk up, first person I see is Charlie Lake, gave him and his wife props, talked a little bit about the LA Maggots and this and that. Then I turn around, I see Funk Ken, jabber at him a bit, but here come Tally, and just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Somehow, I ended up basically front row center for the show. Not sure how it happened. It wasn't like I was aggressively going for it. We kind of all just walked in there together. Me, Charlie Lake, Cassandra, I think Tally was with us. We all kind of walked in there together and we saw a table and it said reserved, but it didn't have anybody's name on it. So we got it. And I kind of grabbed the most strategic seat at that table. So basically for the whole show, I'm sitting there right there in both bands' faces, right smack in the front, spread out, legs crossed, straight, just comfortable. Ordered some fries and some wings, blah, blah, blah. This is going on long. I might have to edit it. But anyway, Official Biz kicks in and I'm listening to him. And I think one of the first things that struck me was that they started off with something that went dun, 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 dun. It started off like the first few beats or bars of Flashlight, but they stopped and they kind of played it again. And when they played it, I looked up, and they stopped and they played something else. They played it again. They like doubled up on that. And then they kind of spun around it seemed like they started playing something that sounded like more bounce to the album. And I noticed through their set, there was multiple times where they was playing variations of bass lines of other songs. Like one time I was like, that's Atomic Dog. Doo, 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 doo. And it was just a couple other songs. But even on top of that, their vocals were good. They had two girls, one girl on keyboard. No, both the girls were on keyboard. Yeah, each had a keyboard. Bass player was the lead singer. Drummer was good. And they had a white dude on rhythm guitar. It was hitting it. He was hitting it. I kept having to look over there and catch it because that ding, 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 the way he was chicken plucking or whatever they call that. Oh, I was like, oh. And then they had the harmonies and the vocals. And I was like, wow, this is very interesting and catchy. Some of the stuff was just catchy. I'm like, okay. So I'm feeling good, eating my wings and fries, knowing damn well I'm going to get stuck with the bill because they had to take one credit card for the table and everybody looking around at everybody. I was like, here go the damn. And I knew when I gave them, I was going to get fucked. But it ain't too late because I took a picture of the register of the itemized receipt and I'm going to start emailing folks. I'm going to start emailing folks with my Cash App name. Because I don't know who got what at the table, but somebody owe me some money. And I know at least two people who do. The rest of them, I'm not sure. But I know what I ordered, and I know what I didn't, and I know what I paid for. So we'll let that go. I mean, you know, if it was something I thought of, it'd be okay. But since this was kind of, it's just my obligation to let them know. Anyhow, so they played, and I was like, oh. I even told the lead bass player singer guy that you guys are very interesting. It was very, very good. I don't know if I said very good. Interesting was the word I definitely emphasized. And because I had seen him earlier on the video, that he went live, and he's waiting for Jar Harris to remote in. And I caught the end of the live. I mean, I caught it after it was, you know, rebroadcast after the show, the save video, so I was able to skip forward like an hour until Jar got on. You know, he was just talking, bantering, and him and Jar did a live cast. So I recognized him. I was like, oh, okay. So it was good. It was definitely interesting. It was definitely interesting. And the white dude on guitar, that rhythm guitar, that part, you know, that ding, 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 whatever that is, that always moves me when done right. And he did it with a nice sound, a nice tone. So, you know, that set the stage. That was pretty good. Like I said, I was feeling good. I'm eating. I'm in the middle of the place. And like right where I'm sitting, the light shines on me. So I knew people could see me in my LA Maggot shirt, all down at around 203 pounds, looking all good. In fact, Funkin said, look at you. You see? I ain't making fun of his stroke or nothing. He was like, yeah, you see, that's my man with his ass, with his shoes matching his jacket. Some kind of floral pattern or something. It was good. I will say one thing about Funkin now. One thing I will say, and I can say this, it was kind of late, I guess. He had to catch the bus home. Because his ride didn't show up. T-Mac didn't show up or something like that, so he got the RTD. I'm like, oh, I should take this nigga home. I was like, oh, but I gotta get up and get on the road tomorrow. How far you live from here? I was like, good luck. I wanted to, but I should have. I really should have, but at least I admitted it, so this is my confession. Anyhow, so it was just everybody was there. It was good. I was looking good, feeling good, talking. You know, it's been a while since I've been out. And I've been seeing people I haven't seen in a long time. Talking to folks, just, oh my God. I keep forgetting every time, and I knew this was gonna happen. how good it is to go out, to be out. Got there, saw Jar, saw folks, and talked to him for a second, told him, good luck, blah, 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 whatever. So SlapBak came out, and they were impressive. SlapBak was very, very impressive. Now, in the past, I've been critical, maybe a strong word, but I guess critical is the word of what funk is and what SlapBak does. I kind of equate it to what cameo, like a cameo kind of funk. It's not really a flashlighty funk or a Grab Central Station type funk, or it's like SlapBak or Jar Harris's interpretation of it. To me, it's kind of a rock, not rock, but more of a rock sentiment on top of it, but the beat is there and everything. So I was always, okay, live performance. I'm not expecting that like Dr. Funkenstein, that kind of nastiness, that kind of deep undercurrent, low bass or whatever effect, or, vibration of the music. Most of all, not like that. But, so I've always, enjoyed SlapBak to a degree, no doubt. I had the record Fast Food Funketeers. That was my Bible for at least a year or two. I wore that record out. I think that was back in the time when I had Foster McElroy's record too. In fact, on Spotify, you can go back and listen to all of it. And Foster McElroy, I forgot. I remember that. I was like, let me go back and listen to it. See what I was thinking. But anyway, so when they came out last night, I was like, okay, let's see what he gonna do. He called the record Funk Lives Matter. He definitely called it the funk. He definitely saying it's funk. So he's saying, hey, look, I'm on the radar, Jeffery. He's like saying, hey, P-Funk 1, I'm calling this funk, so you gotta say something. I'm obligated. So I'm listening to it, and they come out with the first song, and I'm like, it was definitely SlapBak sounding. Definitely had that Jar Harris touch on it, but it was a little bit more funkified, or maybe even R&B-ish or whatever. It was, I don't know if the word is melody, choruses, the bass line, the guitar, the way the drums was hitting. I was like, what is this? What is this? It was kind of the encapsulate, to say it, to get to the end and just say what it's all, whatever. It was a very new kind of funky, at least funky. I'm gonna go back and listen to it. Now, if it's funk, with me and P-Funk, you know how I think of my idea of P-Funk, Mothership Connection, that whole one-way cutie pie, that kind of stuff. Even cameo, funk was funk. But today I was thinking, is Word Up funk? Of course Word Up is funk. What do you mean Word Up? Postmortem, that record, rigor mortis, whatever. She's Strange as funk. Keep It Hot as funk. But it kind of strays. And another thing I'm saying, people. Just because I'm saying that it may or may not be funk as a category, I'm not commenting if the music is good or not. I'm not saying there's a lot of good music out there that ain't funk. And it could be very well be that most of the good music out there is not funk. I just want to say that. Because there's just so many other genres and so much other music published that's non-funk is good. Some legendary, classic stuff that's survived throughout time. Classical music, all that. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying it's not funk. But last night, and again, one time, Lodge Curry did a record. His record and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, it wasn't quite funk, you know, the traditional funk that I was listening to, but I told him it's better than that. It's like at another level. It's like at the next level, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. It kind of went to another level. It kind of went to another place. It took it to another feeling or something. And that's kind of like what I think SlapBak did last night. I liked it, I loved it. I thought it was good and beautiful. Would I classify it as funk? I'll just leave that hanging like that. But for the masses, oh, that's nothing. The same thing with Mr. Curry's record. The masses should love this. The masses, this should go popular, mainstream, or whatever you want to call it. New generation, new kind of music, new energy for this time. It's new, and it may be new for this time and this moment. Like I said with Mr. Curry's record, I was like, this is better than funk, quote unquote better. This is like another level. This is, you know, what I call it funk. But what I'm saying is, and I wanted to emphasize that this is like the next thing. This might even be better, whatever better means. And SlapBak last night was definitely on something like that. My God, I'm listening to it. The vocals, I'm listening to the vocals, where the vocals was placed, and I guess the harmonies, whatever you call them, and background choruses, and how some of it will repeat. And of course, you know, SlapBak and Jar love to stop the music and start it again. You know, they love to stop it and start it again. And they have some really interesting, I don't know, we call them breaks? I don't know. Yeah, breaks. I don't know. It's a really interesting way they syncopated the drums and this and that, where it felt like the music was actually stopped, but it was still playing. Oh, it was just good. And the vocals, and then you got the band dancing, and every now and then all the band would break out into a dance together, and it would just be on time, and it'd be like shocking, because all of a sudden they start doing something like jumping up and down or something in unison. And I told somebody yesterday, if SlapBak ain't playing every goddamn day, no other band in LA should be, as far as funk goes at least. As far as if SlapBak can't get booked every day the goddamn week, as professional as they are, as tight as their show is, with Jar Harris's background, whatever that be, the diversity of the band, just the whole thing. The whole package is just so well done and beautiful. In fact, it could be, you know, like I say, the production could almost be too good, too nice, too clean. And that again comes, I call in question my idea of funk, especially since I've been weaned on, or I'm strung out on the way P-Funk does it now. It could be that P-Funk is a jam band now, not really funk. So, and I'm just like, whatever P-Funk does, P-Funk wins. Because I'm so strung out on the Parliament music that, subconsciously my body's just gonna say, that. And because I kind of don't listen to nothing else. That's why when I heard Official Biz last night, I was shocked that they were so interesting. Now it has nothing to do with the band, it has something to do with me. I was shocked that they were just so interesting to me. I need to check and see the alarm. I guess it kind of don't matter. I could be a little late, but see, since I got up at like 6. I think I woke up at 6 something. You know, I did. I guess see my shoulder been hurting, whatever. I got up at 6 something, weighed myself, of course, ate some grits and sausage, and took 2 ibuprofen just for the ride. And that way they'd start kicking in. You know, I was gonna go back to bed and get up at 9, but I went ahead and, got up. I said, let me get up out of bed, and maybe I'll hopefully get to Oakland in time to take a nap or something. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is always to get to the hotel at check-in time to get that my full value. You get there at check-in time or before. I also always try to set my time to arrive. So, like I said last night after the show, I told him, I was like, man, whatever that was. And another thing I could probably say that kind of was evident was that I recorded the whole show. I held my camera on. I usually may or may not do that just about every song. I kept having to pick it up and turn the camera on because there was something interesting in it. It was just so, interesting, I'm probably overusing the word, because in SlapBak, I want it to mean more than just interesting. Innovative almost. And the way it may be the choruses or the melodies or the background vocals, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call those, they were a funk era. They gave me a funk era feeling. Maybe not quite, maybe like a parliament-y kind of, layering of background vocals and choruses somewhat on top of each other, to the point that where I'm looking around and seeing who's singing. I'm looking around saying, I only see like 3 vocal mics up there, and it was a bunch of vocals I was hearing that I'm looking around saying, who's singing that part? Who's singing that part? And they had this young girl, backup singer, but she sang a lead song too. Just really young looking, just extremely young. I mean, so young, I felt weird even looking at her because, she's cute, she had a little skirt on, but I'm like, oh, you're so young, I'm embarrassed to look at you, because she was cute. And then she's singing, and what struck me was that I could hear. She was singing on the microphone, and it was coming through clear as day. And I'm like staring at her to see, is there a backing track? Is she singing through a backing track? Then she did a solo. And I'm like, wow. And I made a comment. After the show, I ended up standing there talking to her for a little bit. I made a comment about how I was gonna go see P-Funk tonight, and I won't be able to hear any of them. I said, I'm gonna go see P-Funk tonight, and I won't be able to hear any of them. I said, that's why I was staring in your face. And remember, I'm sitting like right there, right in front of her. I'm like literally right in front. She was like the closest performer to me. And she's just like right there, maybe 10 feet away. And I'm like down, she's on the stage, elevated stage, so she up a little bit, so I wasn't like dead in her face. Until SlapBak played We Want the Funk. And I heard that coming on. As soon as I heard that coming on, I stood up. Because, like I said, Mr. Harris and SlapBak's music isn't really straight in your face. They kind of teased it, whatever, but I heard it, and I stood up like the Hulk, and I had my arms spread out, waiting for it. Then he started saying it, when they say that, when he play at P-Funk stuff, I'm going to the front. I'm going to the front. That's what he said, come over to the front. I went to the front. That's when I was like standing right there in front of her, and she was kind of short. Even though she's on the stage, it was kind of like right there. But anyway, I could hear her. I could hear how pretty her voice is, how good her voice was over the music, and it came through, it cut through, and I was like, that was so refreshing. That was so refreshing. And not that the other singers in the other singers in the other band didn't have it, but she was just so young looking. She was just so young and not quite petite, but short, but she was just so little, quote unquote, little looking to have a voice come out like that and sing so confidently. I was like, oh, wow, okay. And it kills me too, the band that Mr. Harris put together. It's like all family. He was saying, they was talking about the different iterations of SlapBak. He put this together. It's like his wife, his daughter, son-in-law. TJ is there all the time. He been there. The drummer, but the music, you could tell, he probably practiced the fuck out of them. You could tell they practiced, he could tell he got disciplined. He'd be all nice, being all jar-haired, smiling. But he probably Joe Jackson when we ain't looking. Because you could tell this band is whipped into shape. That's what I say. I don't see, if they ain't playing every goddamn night of the week, there ain't no hope for no other funk band. Unless there's something going on that I ain't sure about. Because my God, they just got a polished act. The music is good. It's innovative. Sometimes they'll slip in some covers. I need to check. I need to check the time. 8:30. Yep. Alarm didn't go off. Let me turn around. I'm 4 minutes over, so I should get back a little late, but that's okay. So it was good. It was good. I recorded the whole damn thing. I think I'm gonna have to find a way to put this up on the internet for people to see. Like I said, it was so damn good. I bought a goddamn t-shirt, $25. After spending all $100 on food I ain't eat. Charlie Lake, Cassandra, I know that. Those are the only two I know that got food. I should post the, I'm gonna post the receipt out there for everybody to see. Everybody who was at my table last night and didn't pay me, because I ain't gonna die, but I just don't like nobody doing it to me. If I did it myself, it'd be okay. But anyway, I just want to give it up. Number one, to being out and about with human beings. Definitely brought my energy up. And that may be the thing that I needed. That may just simply, plain and simply be what I needed, to be out. Because I've been sleeping a lot, sluggish, black and miles, just, but I went out, seeing folks, just being in the mix, being Jeffery. People was, a couple people commented to me on my energy and how I do this and how I do that. And just my presence and this and that. And I'm aware of it to a degree, a large degree, and how comfortable I am. And I was telling somebody and I was saying, yeah. And I was kind of joking, I was like, yeah, and I be on beat. And she was like, yep. He was like, yeah, you can move. She said, you can move. I was like, oh, okay. So, and this is probably nothing that hasn't been in the works for decades. The whole Jeffery TV brand. It used to be P-Funk 1. That's why I got the P-Funk 1 jersey. Used to wear it all the time as a brand. P-Funk1.com. There's always something. I was talking to somebody a few days ago, whatever, and they were saying they didn't have to push and market themselves to every person that they meet, or just have a fanatical. It bothered them to have a fanatical drive to work on or complete or energy towards, their own project or their brand or whatever they're trying to do. I was like, every great person in the history of mankind has had that. From Einstein to Sting, Elton John, all of them. Every great person that you know of had an insatiable, uncompromising, non-apologetic drive to complete what they wanted, their mission, regardless of the things around them. Einstein got married and said, look, I marry you, I love you, you can do this, but the work come first. He was like, during this time, don't come in the studio. He was like, come in my time, don't come in my office. I'll see you at this time, but during this time, I'm gonna have to be left alone. And not sure why I went down that road, but probably because I have something like that. I have a unyielding, unresting, and I'm listening to the book, Objectivism. the story of Objectivism by Ayn Rand or something like that. And it kind of definitely promotes, or at least, you know, not acknowledges, what's the word, approves of having a fanatical obsession with your purpose, to go all out with your purpose, to be selfish with it. I mean, just not your purpose, egoism, basically, you know. So I'm listening to a book that says, just go for it, it's you, that's what you want. You know, and I definitely had that and have it, where my every waking moment, everything I do is pointed towards Jeffery TV, or I try to make it a part of Jeffery TV, or I think how this fits into Jeffery TV. Everything I do, everybody I meet, every breath. And I enjoy that. I enjoy it. And that's kind of where, you know, me going out, my energy when I'm out, how I may appear in public, how I carry myself, things I do, et cetera, et cetera. There's kind of a plan behind it. It's definitely a template. It may not be a plan, but there's definitely a template. So when I'm out doing my thing, oh, it feels so good. I'm just energized. Look at me. All of a sudden I'm energized up. I took the ibuprofen so my shoulder don't be hurting. It's not hurting right now. I also learned how not to sleep on it or to prop myself up. And I might have been doing it because it would get to the point where I couldn't sit up or drive. It would get so bad that I was worried about making this 6-hour drive today. That's how bad it would get, you know. So and then yesterday I'm like, does this thing start hurting when I'm walking? You know, what is it? Because this happened before. And I remember, I think it lasts for a couple weeks, for a few weeks. But I took ibuprofen, anti-inflammatory, and I got Tylenol, because I got some stuff to do today. I got stuff, and as soon as I start talking about it, I feel a slight twinge, you know. Could be posture, could be this, could be that, you know, but we gotta see, because we're gonna sit in that car 5.5, 6 hours, getting to where we got to get to. Looking forward to it. P-Funk travel day. Take my ass up to Ola. I didn't tell Rick. I need to tell Rick that I'm gonna be up there, because, you know, that's my buddy, but ain't no time. My time is appropriated. I ain't leaving no time for nothing else. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna take a nap, maybe get something to eat, go to the show, leave the show, go back to the hotel, get some sleep, check out the hotel, drive to the next hotel in Santa Cruz, and hopefully I get some sleep there too. Go out to the show Sunday, Saturday night, and then Sunday, drive home. Sunday, drive home. Then I think there's no show Sunday, but there's a show Monday. So I'll be driving again. Shows all next week. So there's things going on. I need to make an appointment with a therapist too, for my disability, now that I think about it. I need to make an appointment with a therapist, because on the 12th I go in there and gotta evaluate if I'm ready to go back or not. And I got plans, so I got plans, so I ain't trying to go back. Plus, I'm probably not ready. To be honest with you, I'm not ready. I'm definitely not ready. There's no doubt about that. Now, if I'm physically not ready, that's a different story. If I'm physically not ready, that's a whole different thing. But I'm mentally definitely not ready. I'm just, no, I need the time. I need the time. And I need it. And I'm not just saying that because I got travel plans and this and that. I logged on to I had an interview the other day. Have I talked about the interview here? The interview went pretty well. Waiting to see if I'll make it to the second round. I think it's hard to say, but anytime you talk to Jeffery, you're gonna get something. So hopefully I made an impact. Sometimes I could be less technical than I could be and let the personality part come through. I'm not sure if I did that or not, but we'll see. I don't know, it depends on what they're looking for, you never know. So we'll see. And what else? Yeah, so I told him, I said, hell, if I get this, I'll come back early. That's kind of true, because I'm thinking it can be worked out. This is a hybrid, 2 days a week, which I can live with. I'm gonna have to figure out how to live with, let's gotta save up my PTO. And I'm thinking with the new position, saving up PTO should be easy. So, that's where we're at. Gary, jump in the car. I may eat some more before I leave. Eat some more before I leave. Load up the car. Steelers pick a defensive tackle. Everybody talking about should do this in, it should do this in, it should do this in. I ain't gonna go into my feelings about black quarterbacks. Many of you already know. I do believe there's such thing as a quarterback being too athletic. Quarterback is supposed to be a point guard. Lamar Jackson is really getting there. Steve Young was the probably epitome, I felt, of a running quarterback. Steve Young was probably the epitome, I always say. But Lamar Jackson is getting there. Anyhow, I like a pocket passer. Anyway, so today's Funk Day. Today is P-Funk Travel Day. Oakland. Opening day, the first show of the tour. I got a front row seat. Far right facing the stage. So we'll see how that's gonna work. We're gonna see how that's enforced. How far to the right I am. One time I got a second row seat, and it wasn't bad because the people in front of me the way the stage was so high that the second row seat, I still had an unobstructed view, and the band had an unobstructed view of me too. Don't think that don't count. So we'll see. We'll get there, we'll see. And then Santa Cruz, I believe, is general admission. So that means get there early, get a front row seat. And the rest are, general admission, I believe. So that means just get there early. House of Blues Anaheim, I made dinner reservations. So I'm gonna get down there early. Hopefully I'll get a fast pass. Skip the line pass. We're having dinner there. So we'll see, you know how this works. Chicago, I did the House of Blues in Chicago earlier this year. Same thing. So, happy P-Funk Travel Day, people. On the road again. The final tour? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. The final tour? This is it. This is it, people. Get yours. I say Ventura, Pachanga, Vegas, Anaheim, LA. I think there's 7 total. DC. So, oh, maybe Pittsburgh. Shit. Probably Pittsburgh now if I'm back there and I'm not working. You know. Gotta go, gotta go. May 20th. Gotta go, gotta go. Love that fucking band. Love that fucking band. Talking to Tyler yesterday, he followed, you know, Living Color like that. You know, and every now and then he'll get that look on his face like, why are you still following them niggas? A lot of people fell off. Talked to a guy yesterday. I ain't seen him since 2018. I'm like, yeah, I understand. You know, I don't even, it ain't no thing anymore in the Caucasian Sound. I said, black people just stopped going. You know, and ever since so-and-so died, ever since blah, 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 left the group, ever since, and the 3GP, because I bring up the 3GP part. I said, yeah, I know. All the grandkids on stage. Yeah, that's not funk to me. That's, yeah. Like, all right. I get it. But to me, I still loves it. I still loves it. And I can see where it's getting quote unquote better. And if you ask me, in ways, it may be the best it's ever been done. In ways. But then I listen to some of that music from back in the day, where they played with so much energy and so much power and so much groove that, whew, that, you know, that touched me to hear that. I'm like, how come nobody plays it like this anymore? Is it possible? Maybe nobody can. They play it with such up-tempo, but still funky, hard. Whew. They was going at it back then, and you know, I could still feel a large, at the least, reminiscence or essence of that. So I get mine, basically. Basically comes down to I get mine. Even if it's just sitting there waiting to see what they're gonna open up with. That's a thrill. What they gonna do next? You know, when is the 3GP part coming in? What they gonna play after 3GP? What they gonna finish with? Is it gonna be Cosmic Stop? Is it gonna be McAvoy? So, and then after seeing SlapBak last night, you know, just being out, getting my feet wet, public, kind of an ego, a nice shot to my ego to be Jeffery in public. It's getting to see people and, you know, stop. My LA Maggot shirt all up front, everybody to see. Being that person. My name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell. I tell y'all that every time. My name is Jeffrey. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing I love and adore more than being Jeffrey. Anyhow, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the phone. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be, the totality of it all, theory of universe, hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery.